All right, and Laura Westbrook, Lead India correspondent, joins us for more from Hong Kong. Laura, over 2,000 people fear to be buried under massive landslide there. And what is the current situation, if you could just tell us, and how about the rescue efforts as well?
Yes, Papua New Guinea has informed the UN that more than 2,000 people were buried in this massive landslide in the remote area of Enga province. Now, this occurred in the early hours of Friday morning, and that is when many people were asleep and houses have been buried. And it's according to reports, the landslide has reached almost a kilometer along. So that just gives you an idea of the scale of this. Now, the official death toll jumped to 670, but it now is believed that many more people who were buried could be presumed dead, and that death toll could rise much further. The United Nations has said that the situation remains unstable. They are very much monitoring the situation, and additional challenges mean that the main road to get to this remote area is cut off. You can only get there by helicopter at the moment. So the United Nations says that the need for assistance would be long-term and complicated. It's called on the international community to assist and provide support. And we have heard from China in its daily press briefing today, which has offered its assistance in helping the relief efforts.
All right, Laura, tell us about the government's action plan now for people in nearby areas. We heard around 250 houses nearby have been abandoned by the inhabitants who had taken temporary shelter with their relatives and friends, and some 1,250 people have been displaced.
Yes, that's right. The government has been focusing on evacuating people in the neighbouring areas. That's because it's still raining, so conditions are quite bad. And there's also worries that the water flow that is underneath the ground is making the ground more unstable. And that poses a risk not just to rescuers, but also to survivors as well. And even with the rescue teams can get there, there are many challenges that they face. Another challenge is bringing in heavy equipment. It's been slow to get there. So in the meantime, people have been using sticks and even their bare hands to try and dig for survivors. According to reports, houses and people are buried in 8 meters of debris that includes boulders and even trees. So that just gives you an idea of how difficult it is to reach the people who are buried. But there is one bit of good news. We've heard reports that a couple who were buried for more than 8 hours have been rescued. But the fear is many more are still in the rubble.
All right, this is a developing story, Laura. We'll keep taking updates from you. But as of now, thank you so much for joining in, and thank you so much for your analysis.